Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
What are you doing?
A daughter out of control.
Are you giving her money knowing that she's going to spend it on drugs?
I'm clean right now.
You don't seem clean.
A mother prostituted as a teen.
My mom feels I'm on the same road as her. I'm not.
Were you sexually exploited?
Yes.
Have you been sexually exploited?
Yes.
But yet she's full of it to be concerned about you going down the same path.
Take a break.
You want to take a break? I don't do breaks. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've hurt long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Listen, take
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4,
This is going to be a changing day in your life. A desperate mom caught this on tape. Take a look.
Sir. Quit talking to me, bitch. Quit talking to me, bitch. Sir. Quit talking to me, bitch. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Well, this is not just some teenage meltdown. That was 20-year-old Lacey throwing a fit and going into a rage when her mother Dee refused to turn over her car keys. Now, Dee says she's trying to save her daughter before it's too late because no one knows the dangers of the dark side of life better than Dee. At just 17, Dee, the mom, met a man and woman who drugged, then kidnapped her and forced her to work in a brothel. Now, Dee eventually escaped after 3 months of hell and lived to tell her story.
Without the faith, I wouldn't have made it.
It's been 30 years, but for Davina Schranz, the pain of being a sex slave is still raw. At 16, she ran away from a children's group home and ran right into trouble. She met what she thought was a nice couple in a bar.
They actually drugged me, put something in my drink, and took me off.
She says she woke up in a brothel outside New Orleans, beaten and forced to meet a quota, sex with at least 3 men a night.
It was, it's beyond. It's very, very hard to talk about.
An industry, Schranz says, uses fear to control its victims.
I wouldn't have been missed. Nobody would have came looking for me, and they would have killed me.
Well, Dee says she has spent years trying to help countless other girls avoid the same fate, but in a very, very real and frustrated way says that she just can't save her own daughter, Lacey. She claims Lacey has been in abusive relationships, nearly died from alcohol poisoning 3 years ago, and now has what she says is an addiction to marijuana and prescription pills, a habit that she's supporting by what her mother calls erotic dancing. Now, Dee fears her daughter is just moments away from being kidnapped herself by someone at the strip club and being forced into human trafficking.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you talking about?
My daughter is out of control, and I can't handle her anymore. Lacey lost her father at a very young age. She was 7. And at 13, she was raped at gunpoint. At 15, she ran away. She had a boyfriend that was abusing her. He beat on her. He slammed her head into a car. He sprayed her down with mace. He sexually assaulted her. She covered for him every time. And finally, a boyfriend got her pregnant. Lacey lost her babies at 7 months. After the funeral, she started drinking and doing drugs. She attaches herself to guys that are abusive. Now she's 20 years old and she's spiraling down into an abyss. She's addicted to drugs, pain pills. She works in the strip clubs to pay for her habit. Her anxiety levels are through the roof.
It don't matter what you're trying to do and what you are doing. I need to go. I'm telling you, I need to go.
She will start yelling and screaming and cussing, and you can't calm her down.
Why are you not listening? Why? Why?
It's like she just is possessed, and it's hard. I've had to call the police on her. My biggest fear is that my daughter's gonna either OD on drugs or she's gonna get taken like I was for human trafficking. I'm angry because I've given her everything of me. And I want her to make me stop going through this torture because it's emotional abuse to me. And eventually it's going to kill me.
All right, Dee, how did she get in all of this pickle? I mean, obviously you were sensitized to this by your own experiences, so one would think that you would be hyper-vigilant about it. How did she get in such a dysfunctional life?
She started hanging around with the wrong people, and after all the trauma that was in her life.
I understand that she was raped at gunpoint.
Yes.
And she was how old?
13.
She's pregnant at 16?
Yes.
And how many times has she been pregnant?
Twice.
Okay. All while a minor on your watch. So I'm asking, what do you think you've done or not done to contribute to her getting into such a dysfunctional path?
I think I've done all I know how to do as a mother. I've done the best that I can. I've let her get by with more than all my other two children, who turned out to be they're like fine. But with Lacey, after the rape, and because she wasn't that close with her family, and we have no family, I just felt, more sorry for her, and I tried to make her happy, and I'm a natural people pleaser anyway, and I let her do things that.
Well, when she was 15, did you allow her to move in with her 18-year-old boyfriend?
In North Carolina, by the time you're 16, you can leave anyway. And she was going to run away if I didn't. And my biggest fear was she was going to run away and I wouldn't have control over her. And that I just needed to have the control and have her still in my life. So did I just say, fine, go ahead? No. Did I try to keep her there? I tried to, but I felt like she was going to do what she wanted to do. Because Lacey's a very strong-willed person.
Really?
Yeah.
You really, that's really the position you're taking. At 15, you allow her to move in with an 18-year-old boyfriend. I asked you if you did that, and you gave me a citation of Carolina law, and that she's strong-willed.
I made some mistakes.
Asking, is that, I mean, you're really here to defend that decision?
Not really.
Well, you just did defend it.
Okay,
so
well, I made some mistakes with her.
When did she lose her virginity?
At 13.
And did you drop her off at that boy's house?
With his parents to play basketball. She was big into basketball. They were friends. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
How old did you think he was?
They were in the same grade.
How old did you think he was?
I thought he was the same age as she was.
Which was 13?
14.
How old was he?
I later found out that he was 17, 18.
You later found it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've seen her beaten and bruised. You took the pictures.
I had called the police about that, and she would not press charges. I couldn't force her, or I would have. I felt like
dragging her home. Did you report the boyfriend?
I took out a restraining order on the boyfriend, and yeah, I reported the boyfriend.
So I understood you didn't report the boyfriend.
After I found out, I called the police on the boyfriend, and the police showed up, and she would not press charges.
Did you file charges? That's a yes or no answer.
No.
I mean, this isn't an essay question.
No.
Okay. Do you give her money even though you know she's going to spend it on drugs, marijuana, and prescription drug habit?
I give her money because I don't want her going out and stripping. I don't give her like a lot of money. I give her like gas money. I feel like it's like $20 at a time.
I'm wasting my time talking to you. Seriously, we're just wasting our time here. You're insulting my intelligence, and
I give her money. I've enabled her. I
mean,
admit it.
Come on, why are you wasting my time pretending that you don't know you're giving her money to buy drugs?
Okay, I've given her money. And,
don't condescend to me. Right. Okay, I'll fine. If that's what you want me to say, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Don't play that game with me, lady, or you're out of here. I ask you a legitimate question. I'm not insulting you. I am asking you simple questions so I can get to the bottom of what's going on. I want to know, are you giving her money knowing that she's going to spend it on drugs? That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
And only you know whether in your mind you know what she's doing with that money.
Yes.
Now, I damn well know, but you know as well, and you're trying to sit here and tell me, well, I just give her a little bit. Come on. And you may not want me on your team. Oh, this guy he's harsher than I thought he was going to be. Maybe you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got a girl in trouble, in my opinion, here. You got a girl in trouble, in my opinion, in part because you are parenting from guilt. You're scared to death she's going to wind up where you wound up, and so you're doing anything you can to run around with a little pillow for her to fall back on. How's that working for you?
It's not.
What's she doing for a job?
Stripping.
You said I give her money so she won't strip. What's she doing for a job?
Stripping.
So that isn't working, is it? No. Is she on drugs?
Yeah.
Do you let her drive your car?
Yes.
You know she's doing drugs and alcohol, right? You know she's driving that car under the influence, right? Did she drive a car off a 35-foot embankment under the influence?
Yes.
So you don't have to predict where it might happen. It has happened. So you say, here are the car keys and here's some money. So you know she's taking your car and going to buy drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest with each other. I mean, you know it's true. Do you want me to not know it's true, or do you want me to see this with clarity?
Yeah, I want your help. I want to be honest, and I want your help.
Then let's just be honest. You've enabled this girl because you don't know what else to do.
Yes.
You haven't done it because you want bad for her. You've done it because you've run out of options. You don't know what to do.
Yes.
Isn't that why you're here?
Yes, yes.
And didn't you come here because you know I'm going to ask the questions? You know I'm going to drive down to the bottom of this.
Yes.
And you know I'm going to jerk a knot in her tail if that's what needs to be done.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay, so am I not doing what you came here for me to do?
Yes.
Then don't fight me doing it.
Okay. Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I like you better now.
Okay.
You're telling me the truth. Look, this is very serious. This is a woman that has been through hell and back, and she's scared to death her daughter is headed the same place. Now, we're talking about her daughter, Lacey, and Lacey says she knows she will not end up kidnapped like her mother was because she says, I am way smarter than my mother. I am way more savvy than my mother. Well, we're going to find out about that next because she's about to come out here.
When I was 15 years old, my mom said right before I moved out that she almost had an abortion with me and she wished she would have followed through with it. I've been angry at my family for many years because they do not understand me.
And later, you got to go, you got to go. Right? If you got to go, we'll stop our national broadcast and wait for you to come back. No, if you got to go, you got to go. I'll be right here when you get back.
Nobody's ever done this, nothing.
Bones, would you escort this young woman?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil, a wedding day disaster.
The driver gunned it. My dress got caught.
She was dubbed the bride who was run over by a minivan.
I was dragged 20 feet.
How did you wind up out in the parking lot in a brawl?
A family torn apart.
I felt the wheel run up my leg.
And pointing fingers.
I did blame Lisa for what had happened to my dad.
At the bride.
What do you think she's covering up?
That's tomorrow.
I was born to a family of two alcoholic parents that I watched fight I watched my dad throw my mother down the basement stairs. Finally, Children's Services took me away, put me in a children's home. When I was 13, into drugs and alcohol, and started becoming promiscuous. And then a guy rapes me at 16. I thought it was over. My daughter going through this is just bringing all that stuff back up, and it's really scary.
That was Dee, who was at the age of 17 when she was drugged and kidnapped from a bar in New Orleans and forced to work in a brothel for 3 months. Now, Dee says what she endured was pure hell and would not wish her experience on anyone, of course, but especially not on her own daughter. But she is pretty sure her 20-year-old daughter, Lacey, will suffer the same if she doesn't stop her cycle of self-destructive behavior. Now, her daughter says, look, Mom, calm down. That's not going to happen to me. You were naive. I am not. Don't worry about it. Here's what she has to say in her own words.
I've been angry at my family for many years because they do not understand me. I feel very misunderstood. They don't give me a chance. When I was 15 years old, my mom said right before I moved out that she almost had an abortion with me, and she wished she would have followed through with it. It made me very angry, felt very hurt. I hate the road I'm on right now. I don't know what to do to get off of it. It's like I never knew what the term depression was. And it all hit me like a ton of bricks at one time. Like I've been living a double life for so long. And now I start dancing, it's like a triple life. I don't even know who I am anymore. I agreed to go to counseling. I didn't get into the counseling in 2 days. My mom, I guess, felt like I wasn't trying, so she took matters into her own hands and went to the magistrate's office and got court ordered to have me evaluated at the hospital, and I didn't know anything about it. I'm doing my makeup, I'm doing my hair. I was about to leave. 2 police officers came in my bedroom, and I was like, what's going on? Automatically, I was on the defense, scared, I didn't like it. They were like, oh, we could do this the easy way or you could do this the hard way. And I said, okay, well, am I going to jail? And they got a taser out, threatened to taser me. They put handcuffs on me so tight that it cut into my wrist. Then they picked me up and like pushed me into the car, and my emotions were so messed up. They released me 10 hours later after going through severe humiliation. Then I decided that I was angry again, that my mom didn't love me. It hurt me so bad because I was actually trying, and you come in and hurt me.
Okay, Lacey, I'm glad to meet you. How do you feel about being here today?
I feel like my mom feels that I'm on the same road as her, and I'm not.
Why are you here today? Why'd you agree to come? You're an adult. You could have said no.
I want to get help.
With?
I need some counseling, therapy. I had a horrible year last year. A lot of things happened, and it's like boom, everything hit and came to the surface.
What was the worst thing that happened to you last year?
Felt like I had no one at all. I was gang raped. I went to January. In March, I went to rehab. I didn't like it at all.
You left after 7 days.
7 days.
You said you didn't know it was a rehab when you went there?
I know that it was like that. Like, I thought it was more counseling. I didn't realize, like, people were shooting up. I didn't realize the intensity of it. So I felt out of place. So when I showed up, I was like, can you please send me home? They said no, and that legally they kept me there for a week. So then when I came back, I was already felt like betrayed from the people at the rehab place. I came back to my mom, and then I felt that she betrayed me with the police. And then I got betrayed by some more people after that, a month after that. Betrayed again a month after that. It was just betray.
So you got gang raped when? Where? How did that happen?
Right before Mother's Day. This was after I got out of rehab. I went home to my mom's, and then I stayed there until she called the police and all that. And then I had moved to an old neighbor's house. I stayed there for 2 weeks. I tried to get back with my boyfriend. He betrayed me.
Had another girl in the house.
You on drugs?
Yes.
Are you abusing drugs?
Yes.
So...
Not right now.
You're clean right now?
I'm clean right now, but I do at home. I'm nervous right now.
Yeah. You don't seem clean right now.
I really am.
Pardon me?
I really am.
You really are?
I really am right now.
You seem to have kind of a flight of ideas. You mentioned being betrayed by the people at rehab, by your mother, by police. There's a common denominator to every one of those situations, and it is...
The people. Me?
No, the people change. The common denominator is you. You're in every situation, so everyone is betraying you. How do you think your life's working for you?
Not good at all. Not good at all.
Next, what happened to Lacey at 16 that started her downward spiral? We'll talk about that next.
I ended up getting pregnant. I had major complications through my pregnancy.
Here was this little 16-year-old girl who this was her only hope.
And later, so they tell me backstage that you were saying that I was bullying you and making you look bad.
Yes. I'm feeling very bullied. I'm feeling...
Betrayed.
Betrayed, yes.
My daughter's gonna die if she doesn't get help, and she's going down a very self-destructive path.
I swear to God, you wanna drug test me! You wanna drug test me!
And she has a lot of emotional problems, and nobody is diagnosing her right. They're not getting to the bottom of what's going on. I don't understand how a girl can go through so much and continually put herself through it over and over again and not reach out.
Were you pregnant when you were 16?
Yes, sir.
And how many times have you been pregnant?
3.
3 times. And you're how old?
20.
Okay, so you're 20 years old, you've been pregnant 3 times, and how many children do you have?
0.
And what happened to these children then if you were pregnant 3 times?
First one, I had a miscarriage. The second time, I had twins the second time, and I had multiple complications. One was stillborn, and one was in the NICU, and neither one of them made it.
Dee feels her daughter Lacey's downward spiral started after losing her twins.
I met a guy. He was 3 years older than me. I ended up getting pregnant. I eventually left him. I was doing awesome. I went to school and I got my GED in 2 weeks. I tested out with honors.
She was just like night and day. She was the most pleasant, kind, grateful person to be around. It was wonderful.
I had major complications through my pregnancy. Both my babies passed away.
It was very traumatic for everyone. They're passed away, they dress them, and they bring them to you to hold. And so here was this little 16-year-old girl who this was her only hope.
After I lost my twins, I didn't care. 1 week after the funeral, I didn't have a hope, driving around drunk.
All of her dreams and all of her hopes and all of her happiness that she had was gone.
During any of that time, were you ever beaten or abused?
During the first 2 times. The first time...
You said, I have no idea why I lost these babies, but the truth is, during both of those pregnancies, you were beaten and abused.
The second one, I was severely abused. I was threw on some concrete cement that you have around your house. I was pushed off of that. I had and shook like that. Had my teeth busted out, cold fist punched in the mouth, knocked out, woke up on the bathroom floor. And my previous relationship was pacing back and forth saying he had to kill me. He had to kill me. I got away 2 weeks later. I jumped out of a moving car when I was pregnant, kidnapped, and drove to a place. He stole my cell phone from me. Even my shoes were left on the ground. So with all that abuse, later on they found out that it caused a lot of complications with the pregnancy.
Were you sexually exploited?
Yes.
Have you been sexually exploited?
Yes.
Were you beaten?
Yes.
Were you beaten?
Yes.
Were you kidnapped?
Yes.
Were you kidnapped?
Yes.
But yet she's just full of it to be concerned about you going down the same path. Now, in terms of your injuries, you've had a brain concussion, a fractured arm, your top front teeth and bottom front teeth fractured and broken off. You've sustained over 30 to 35 scars and bruises on your body. You've been picked up and thrown down 4 times on the cement while you were pregnant. And you've been maced in the face and on your arms and on your body.
Yes, sir. That's some of it.
Okay. But you are drug-free.
I want to be.
Yeah. Did we give you a drugs test this morning?
They did.
Here, we've got it up in the monitor for you. So you were tested positive for marijuana, methamphetamine, opiates, benzodiazepines, tricyclic antidepressants, and oxycodone as of this morning.
I am prescribed the opiates for my mouth right now, but I do abuse them. I do abuse them. And the weed, I feel like I can't even eat barely if I don't smoke sometimes, like I'm not even hungry.
Are you abusing it?
Yes.
What's your point?
That, I don't understand, like, I have to use it.
I'm sorry?
Can I take a break?
You want to take a break?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to take a break? I don't do breaks. Why do you want to take a break?
I have to use the restroom.
You've only been out here 11 minutes. Did you not know you were coming?
They made me drink 3 bottles of water to do the drug test. So, it just...
You got to go, you got to go. Right? So, if you got to go, we'll stop our national broadcast and wait for you to come back. No, if you got to go, you got to go.
I really do.
I'll be right here when you get back.
Nobody's ever done this, has they?
Bones, would you escort this young woman to the ladies' room? And we will await your return with great anticipation. Because you don't like the way I'm doing it, so let me just turn over the wheel to you. Don't run us off a 35-foot embankment, but let me turn it over to you and let you decide what we talk about. So the floor is yours, the show is yours, the agenda is yours.
And later,
I mean, I want her as my sister. I want our relationship. But how many times have I called you and you not answered?
Because I never know what's going to happen with you. I never know.
Okay, well, I never had that support.
We're still here.
I feel a lot better. Okay.
So they tell me backstage that you were saying that I was bullying you and making you look bad.
Yes, I'm feeling very bullied. I'm feeling
Betrayed.
Betrayed. Yes. Like that. This show is not what I thought it was going to be.
What did you think it was going to be?
I think it was going to be like me and my emotional problems, me never dealing with my emotional problems, and how I'm starting to spiral down, and how like I've never dealt with. I've went to counseling, but I've never stuck with it like for a year. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'm not the best in the world at doing this. Well, actually, I guess I am. But I am completely happy to let's run your agenda. Let's let you decide what we should talk about, because you don't like the way I'm doing it. So let me just turn over the wheel to you. Don't run us off a 35-foot embankment, but let me turn it over to you and let you decide what we talk about. So the floor is yours, the show is yours, the agenda is yours, and I'm all ears.
Right now, I'm 20 years old. I've been living on my own since I was 16. I've never had the ability to, like, go home, you know, which is, most people do have that. I don't have that because of, I don't have that. I don't have that security of home. So that's a stressor for me, huge stressor.
What's so bad about home?
No,
I'm sorry.
Well, I'll get to you in a minute, or she can call on you, since she's...
Why do I gotta go first?
Okay.
You said you didn't like the way I was doing it. I was bullying you and making you look bad. You wanted to run a different agenda and talk about the fact that you had emotional problems and were spiraling down. And I said, then fine, let's talk about what you want to talk about, since you don't want to talk about what I want to talk about.
Okay.
So we're talking about what you want to talk about. One thing you said, I don't have the security of having a home base to fall back on. I don't feel like I can go home, because when I do, she becomes paranoid and accusatory, and I'm filling in a few blanks for you that I think maybe you meant to put in.
Very much.
But that she's accusatory and...
She won't leave me alone.
Bugs you and pesters you and badgers you into the point that you blow up.
Yes.
And then you look crazy because she badgered you into it. And what we see is the badger, we see the blowing up, but not all the badgering that brought it on.
Yes.
Okay. See, I am paying attention.
Yes.
Okay. Now, your sister's here, Devin. Yes. What do you think about having her join the conversation?
That's fine.
Lacey's older sister says that she needs to grow up and stop ruining their family with her reckless behavior. We'll talk to her after the break.
Listen to me!
I think that she has mental issues. She's a ticking time bomb. I do not want my children around my sister unsupervised, because you never know when she's going to blow up.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She was dubbed the bride who was run over by a minivan.
A wedding day disaster.
My dress got caught. I was dragged 20 feet.
How did you wind up in a brawl?
That's tomorrow.
My sister's out of control.
No, what are you doing?
My sister's lifestyle is very self-destructive. It puts a strain on not only my mother, but with our whole family. I do not want my children around my sister unsupervised, because you never know when something's going to happen. She's going to blow up, or what she's going to blow up over.
Listen to me!
I think that she has mental issues. She's a ticking time bomb. You never know when something's just going to set her off. I don't know if the police are going to be out at the house one day, and I would rather not have my children involved in that. I think my mom is an enabler. When Lacey throws a tantrum, for the longest time, it was just easier just to give her what she wanted. When I found out that she was addicted to painkillers and that she had to go to rehab, it just drove home how real and unstable that her life was becoming. I miss having my sister, but I can't go back down that road unless something changes.
Devin, thank you for joining us. At this point, you said you think she has some mental illness issues and is making some poor life choices to the point that you don't want her to be around your children.
I don't want her to be around them unsupervised because, I mean, you know, you admit you do drugs, but yeah.
It's okay. Look at Dr. Phil.
I know that she loves them, and it's just the fact that you never know if she's going to fly off the handle. And my son's 5 years old, and he kind of knows what's going on, and it's not normal, and it's not something that I want him to be exposed to.
What do you want to see happen here?
I would like for her to get help so that we could be a family. I mean, I want her as my sister. I want our relationship.
Right.
But how many times have I called you and you're not answered?
Because I never know what's going to happen with you. I never know.
Okay, well, I never had that support.
You've had my support.
Years ago, like when the picture was shown of the zoo, that was 2 years ago, and I was on pain pills then, Devin.
I didn't know. I didn't know you were on pain pills until you went to rehab.
Yeah, because I'm not on them like most people. I do like 2 a day, Dr. Phil, like 2 a day. I don't do them like 10 a day. I do like 2 a day. So it's just more like a habitual thing. Like I do it before I go to work.
Okay, we have to take a break. Coming up, Lacey has blamed her entire family for her problems, for her bad decisions. And I have a question for her about what we do next. Very specific, and we'll hear what she has to say. And I think that'll be of some interest. We'll be right back.
I'm really not sure why my relationship is strained with my mother right now.
You're afraid. No, I tell you what the I need. You don't listen.
I feel horribly about what I do. I do feel like a disappointment.
You're afraid to help Shut yourself. Up.
If things don't change with Lacey, I can't continue to be the support and the caregiver that she's always had. I can't take her back.
Would you like to know what I think is going on and what I think you need to do to get from where you are to where I think you want to be? You know, we're all products of our learning history. We're products of our environments. You know, if we grow up around violence and yelling and screaming and chaos, then we tend to create our own lives with violence and yelling and screaming and chaos. If we are taught early on that your value lies in your sexuality and your body, then that tends to be the level at which you define relationships. And when you've been raped and beaten and abused, there's no way that that doesn't devalue you in your own eyes. There's no way that doesn't hurt you mentally and emotionally. You've had your teeth knocked out, you've had your arm broken, you've had, I think, been abused to the point of miscarriage. You've had terrible life experiences, and I'm really sorry for that. You didn't deserve that. You didn't ask for it, because at that age, you certainly can't be expected to see around corners and understand everything that's going on. So I get that, and I'm so sorry that you've been through that. And there's no but at the end of that sentence. I'm sorry that you've been through that. You're an adult now, and so you now are responsible for the decisions that you make. My assessment of you is that you are very damaged. Your self-esteem is damaged, your self-worth is damaged, your body is damaged, I think your brain is damaged. I think you are addicted to prescription drugs.
Because I use them to deal with the hurt.
Clearly you're self-medicating.
Right.
There's no question about that. But that doesn't change the addiction, which is a brain phenomenon. And you are set on self-destruct. You have turned the dial on self-destruct. You say, hey, it's a career stripper. That is not a good career path. It is a dangerous career path. It is a high-risk career path.
I don't want it to be a career.
And,
I want it to be a moment.
and it is. And I think you have family that loves you but don't know how to help empower you because you're in over your head. This is not something that you can handle by just loving her and patting her on the back and just pretending to be that everything is okay. At this point, you are at high risk for turning up dead, either killed by someone else's hand or your own.
Stop justifying your inactivity and avoiding the challenge of change. For help getting started, go to drphil.com for 11 seasons of advice, articles, and exclusive videos you won't find anywhere else. Plus, sign up for the Dr. Phil community to share your story and find support from others, all on drphil.com. Miles Adcox is here today. He is the CEO and co-owner of OnSite.
Lacey, you've been walking around in a hyper-triggered state for far too long, and that's causing you to look at life through a pretty foggy lens. So to me, it makes sense why you've been tripping all over everything. Going forward, we got to get you a new pair of glasses by treating this trauma so that you can meet life on life terms in the way that you deserve.
Yeah.
I think you may need to pair this with some rehabilitation to get free of these drugs and to get your brain clear. And that's something that we could do with what I think is the best drug treatment center, which is Origins Recovery Center. And I think we can consider that at some point as well. But I think we should start right here and give you an opportunity to really focus on yourself. And Miles, you can coordinate with the Origins folks and see how all of that should shake down. You know, you've said, I've been betrayed here, been betrayed there, been betrayed here, been betrayed there. You know what? There's a point at which you want to stop being a victim and start being a victor. And in order to do that, you got to work on who you are. So I asked Miles to fly in here today to be here to talk to you and offer you this opportunity. Do you want it?
I do want it.
Will you take it?
I will.
And I understand your brain will try and sabotage this.
Can I say something?
Well, here we go.
Could you help my boyfriend?
I don't know. I don't know your boyfriend.
Because we've been together for 3.5 years, and he needs some help.
Don't know him, but I'm happy for Miles to chat with him.
Okay.
But I tell you what, this is about you.
Okay.
This is about you right now. Don't know him. Don't know
yes,
his brother or the
help.
guy that lives across the street from him either. What I do know is you.
Okay.
And you're here. And you took the words right out of my mouth. I said, your brain's going to try and sabotage this. It's not your job to fix him. It's your job to fix you. And I'm offering you this opportunity. Okay? All right. A special thanks to all of my guests today, and especially Miles Adcox from OnSite. We have a link to that on our website. And so thank you for what you do, and thank you, OnSite. All right. We'll see you next time. All right, let's work on here and see what happens, okay? All right, guys. It's awesome. Thank you, guys.